do this, so I wanted to kind of knock it out. I am about to begin my third hour of practice, and all I've been practicing, other than my warm up, is my new song Frog Hopper. You always forget, like, you just write what you think sounds cool, and then trying to play it is a lot harder, you know? So anyway, hope you guys like. I dressed up for you today. All right, here we go. Let's see, wrong one. This one. There we go. So that's after a couple straight hours of practicing that. That song's feeling a lot more comfortable now. Santric says, "Man, you're streaming quite a lot." Yes, I am. I am. Where do you get your backing tracks? Well, that one I'm playing along to. That's my new song, Frog Hopper. So that's a song I worked on for a really long time, and got it mixed and mastered, and then had the backing track sent to me separately from the main track that's now available on streaming. King Meanie says hi. Hey, good to see you. So in that song, the things I still have to practice are I kind of added some things that I wanted to try for like a live version, if I ever do a live version of this. Of course, I'm mostly practicing to do like clips for social media and everything to promote the song. But I like to be able to try and work out a version where I play it live. So at the end, instead of just doing the riff, let's see, let's get that. instead of just doing that, I experimented going up an octave. And then doing this harmony. And then this one. And then we get into the ending. The other section that's really tough is actually that like quieter section for me. And I added this little. And then it goes into. And then this is actually the part I struggle with the most, is getting these bends in tune. I think I need a tune. And then this extended, like Greg Howe inspired line. Getting every single one of those notes perfect. I don't even think I got it perfect on the studio recording. In fact, I know I didn't. There's a note I missed in there. And then that immediately transitions into. And then we're back. So that I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with that bit. Santrix himself. That reminds me of the octave pedal I ordered on AliExpress that still has not arrived. AliExpress. That's funny. Yeah, I'm using my Quad Cortex pedal with the octave added to it. So I added a couple new settings this morning for this particular song to where I have just the octave sub. So it's just doubling an octave down, a little bit an octave up, but it's mostly targeting that octave down. And then a version that has the wah pedal. Because during this section, I need the wah pedal, but there's also another guitar that's doubled down an octave. And it sounds really empty if I just play it like this. Like, that sounds great, but with the recording, it ends up sounding really empty on that bit. Yeah, because all the guitars drop out in that section, and so it feels really empty without that octave. But then I have to switch the octave off when the other guitars come back in. So trying to kind of balance that volume there. It's kind of what is going on. Okay, I'm gonna run this a few more times. Let's see what. I might go just a little louder with my volume, see if that is better in the mix. Oh no. There we go. Okay, now I screwed up the middle section again, so that's still the hardest bit that I need to keep practicing. But other than that, it's feeling pretty good playing. This is a Fender signature Eric Clapton Strat that I have completely bastardized. I've had it refretted with medium jumbo frets. I had the neck reshaped to be more of a rounded C instead of a V shape. I ripped out all the electronics, so it doesn't have the mid boost or the 20 dB boost anymore. The pickups are now a Seymour Duncan JB and two Fender Eric Johnson pickups, and then the bridge I replaced with an American Deluxe bridge because I wanted the pop-in arm, not a screw-in arm. And with this one, I can do that kind of a thing. I can do the flutter. Almost had a cool little melody there. There it is. That's really hard to do. Trying to get the whammy bar to go down to the exact pitch. It's easy going up because if I pull the bar all the way up, oh, never mind. I'm going up a whole. Anyway, so that's why I replaced the bridge on this guitar. Maza says, what songs are you practicing? All I've been practicing for the past 2 straight hours is my song Frog Hopper. So I'm really excited. It's my brand new song. Recorded it with drummer Marco Srigliano and then my friend John Skineski on bass. My buddy John, he's actually an airline pilot. Oh wow, I'm so out of tune. No wonder it sounded bad. And Marco is a full-time professional drummer. So this was a lot of fun to write and record, and I hadn't put a new song out in almost 2 years. So it was time, and I have some more other songs in the works. Let me just finish getting tuned. Anyway, I'm gonna play the song again, not for everyone's entertainment value, but because that's just what I'm practicing right now. What's the song? Is it really? Yeah, it's called Frog Hopper, and it is released. It's on streaming everywhere. A couple of my shorts from the last couple days, my YouTube shorts, I've been promoting the song. Anyway, here it is. This is Frog Hopper. Let's see if I can get it down. I'm out of tune again already. All right, not my worst run through of the song. That was okay. That was all right indeed. I have a few extra minutes for questions. If you guys want to ask anything about guitar playing, what ifs. So that was my new song, Frog Hopper, which is streaming everywhere now. It's even on Roblox. It's available in Roblox. Wow, I can't believe how quickly I came out of tune. Usually this guitar stays in tune really well. Also, if you are interested in studying guitar with me, check out the link in the description for my free guitar warm-ups course. You can also shoot me an email, eric@unlimitedguitar.com, if you are interested in private lessons. Okay, I think I'm in tune now. I'm gonna also try to do some Satriani stuff later today, because I'm gonna try and do Up in the Sky. Boy, that's tough to play, man. That's it. I'm feeling better about that bit, being able to do that. And then the solo. Yeah, and that's pretty much that whole song. So I'm gonna practice that a little bit later. Oh my goodness! Wow, check this out. Mazda says, I don't know music theory, so I was wondering if you have tips for making music. Yeah, I'll get to that here in a sec. Some blues lick, please. Joe says, surfing with Eric. Love the Satch videos. Oh my gosh. Hey, thank you so much for that $25 super chat, Joe. That means a lot. Let's see if we can do a little surfing, shall we? Just an excerpt, maybe just that opening bit. Make sure I'm in tune. All right, this one's just for Joe. Just having a little bit of tuning challenges today. All right. I think I don't remember the rest right now. I love that lick in the song. That's pretty cool. Sweet, man. That rules. That rules. Blues licks. Yeah, man. Blues licks. We can do that. There's a couple of blues licks in my song Frog Hopper. Yeah, so there's a little bit of blues, and then like what was I? Okay, now I'm not doing blues there, right? Yeah, some good old blues stuff. I learned that from LaGrange, ZZ Top's LaGrange. Samo, what's up? That's a really cool lick, and I hadn't played a blues lick quite like that. Right, something like that. Cool. Let's see. Let's run this song. Anyone who's been here this whole time, I apologize. I'm sure you're sick of this, but I really want to get my song down. I'm gonna switch to standing up mode because I really need to practice this standing up if I'm gonna get it properly. All right, one more time through this, and then I'm out of here. And then tomorrow's my 40th birthday. I will not be streaming tomorrow. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a short birthday stream. There we have it. There we have it. Oh my goodness. Joe, so incredibly generous. Wow, another $25 super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm turning 40 tomorrow. So Joe says, happy birthday. I really, really appreciate that, man. Means a lot. Let's see what else we got going on. Abdullah says, so cool. Thank you. Samuel says, I'm going to be honest. You deserve a huge community. There's some real ding-dongs on the internet who have bigger communities than they deserve. Not only are you great at playing, but wow, thank you, Samo. Man, that means a lot. I really appreciate it. You know, it's guys like you that really make this a really fun time. And Joe Stu making this an especially fun time. Let's see. Abdullah says, how practice lick subdivisions with that beat? I'm going to be honest. I'm not really counting the rhythm. I'm kind of just timing it. I'm just feeling like I kind of start the lick, and then as I start to run out of time, I speed it up at the end so that I can still land on the beat right there. But it's really just a feel thing. And I'll be honest, as I'm practicing it, so I feel myself getting out of that feel. And just the more I do it, the more I kind of lock in that timing. So like, you know how, I don't know if you've looked at any tab books, but sometimes you'll see transcriptions for songs where people will, it'll show like 4/16 notes, and then a group of 5, and then a group of 7, and then a group of 9. And it's like, most guitar players, the vast majority of guitar players are not thinking that way. They're just kind of feeling it out, and they can tell when they need to speed up or slow down to make it fit, you know, within a certain measure. So that just takes a lot of practice. Samo says, you also have an incredibly warm and welcoming personality. Sorry, there's a max characters, LOL. Man, thank you, Samo. Really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. I got to put a love on Joe Stu's $25 super chat. Put a love there, as well as a like. That rules. Samo, happy birthday for tomorrow. Big man, have a good day and evening, whatever time it is for you. Yeah, it's like 8:30 in the morning right now. I typically try to do my practicing early in the day. Yesterday, I waited, and then my practicing just was not great later in the day. So I started practicing at 6 a.m. this morning. I try to get a couple hours in before I take the kids to school. Paul F says, play something with some gonads. Golly, man, I've been trying. I'm playing my new song, Frog Hopper. I thought that had some gonads. Rayan says, can you play Apache? I really don't want to learn. I love Apache. I love old instrumentals from the 60s. I love surf music. So yeah, Apache's really cool, but I don't currently know it. Rayan says, happy birthday. Thank you. Samo says, I want to go to a music college, but little to no theory. If I go to one, will it be over my head? No. Samo, I went to music school knowing almost no theory. And what I found was the other freshmen didn't know any theory either. And so it really just came down to that first semester, the people who studied the most. And fortunately, I really liked music theory. So I enjoyed spending time studying it, and I got quite good at music theory. I found like the instrumentalists tended to like doing music theory, and the vocalists did not like doing music theory. I also didn't know how to read any music. I was really concerned about that. So that first semester was really hard because a lot of the other music students knew how to read music. However, most of them only knew how to read treble clef or bass clef. And they did not know how to do both, but we had to learn how to do both. So almost everybody except for like the pianists were struggling to read one of the clefs. And so for me, I was struggling to read both, and I just had to spend extra time getting comfortable with those. And by the end of that first semester, I was about as good at reading as everybody else. And so I'm really proud of that, having learned how to read music and music theory through music school. So I didn't know those things going in. I just could play some guitar. In fact, my audition wasn't even very good. I was doing like, what was I doing? I was doing like some Ingve, like classical, like Paganini stuff. I can't even do it right now. Anyway, those are my sweeps. And they were like, "Hey, you got to pick classical or jazz," and I didn't really know either. I wasn't too familiar with either of those. So, yeah, I hope that helps, Samo. All right, I'm gonna hop off here in a few minutes to go take the kids to school. I've got a little bit of other practicing to do. I got these cool licks that I picked up from my buddy Tommy, who runs Introspection Academy, a very like Greg Howe inspired channel. And he's got these cool licks. So I'm kind of practicing some of those. And then a little bit of that, and then what's the other one I'm kind of practicing right now? Right, some kind of things like that, some very Greg Howe inspired ideas. Fun times. Joe says good stuff. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I like doing a lot of that, like Mixolydian. I've got maybe a little too much distortion right now. That's a new, kind of a newer Joe Satriani lick that I learned. Kind of doing like that there, right? So I'm probably gonna practice a little bit of that stuff later as we go. So cool. All right, you guys. Well, great to see you today, Joe, Stu. Thank you so much. That is huge. I've never received super chats that large before. So to get $50 super chat for my birthday, you just made my whole day. So y'all have a great rest of the day. I might be on briefly tomorrow on my actual birthday for a quick stream, but I'm not sure yet. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.